be going straight into our conversation for this evening. I think Dr. Agumbiade has left the room. I don't know if he's still here. Dr. Agumbiade, thank you for the session. It was very enlightening. It refreshed me about a whole lot. And it's good that we're having these conversations, because sometimes as women, we get too engrossed with our daily routine. You're trying to get everything done that you even forget to think about yourself and take care of yourself. So thank you for reminding us that beyond the razzmatazz of being a woman and beyond all the day-to-day activities, you still need to look in the mirror and say, hey, girl, I have to take good care of you. So I'll be talking to us this evening on what we have termed body image and self-esteem. Basically, we'll be looking at how our body image affects our self-esteem, how it affects our mental health, how our body image affects our mental health. I was sharing some slides with us. Let me see my slides. Okay. If you can see my slides, please let me know. Can we see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, quick one.
Slide mode.
If you have a pen and you have a paper with you, I would like you to do a couple of things. I want you to write down 5 things you like about yourself. 5 things you like about yourself. Among the 5 things you like about yourself, I would like you to write 2 things. So 3 things, 3 general things you like about yourself, and 2 things you like about your body. So we'll move ahead. But however, in the course of our conversation, I would ask for someone to share with us what she has written down. So 5 things I like about my body. Then you could also write 2 things I do not like about my body. 2 things I do not like about my body. Now, don't overthink it. If nothing comes to mind quickly, it's okay to leave it open. If something comes to mind quickly, it's also okay to write it down. So for both sides, what I like and what I don't like, whatever comes to mind, if it comes quickly, write. If it doesn't come quickly, it's fine. So basically, what is body image? Body image is, like we know, the way you think and feel, how you think and feel about the way you look. So I like to say that body image is that picture of yourself you have when you look into the mirror. How do I think about how I look, about the shape of my body, about my height, about my weight, about my skin color? So I look into the mirror and I see a young lady who is fair. Excuse me, I see a young lady who is fair, who is on the slim side, who is, I would like to say who is beautiful. I didn't want to go to that aspect yet, but I'll tell you why I said that. Because now, after a long period of feeling like I was not good enough, I'm beginning to see, I have gotten to a point where I see every part of me as wow. So there are times I look into the mirror and I tell myself, wow, girl, you're fine. It has not always been that way.
Hello, doctor.
And that's
Sorry.
why for me,
Sorry, doctor. You have some message. So can you just check the message? The chat
okay.
box. Yeah. Maybe your slide mode. I think somebody's asking for your slide mode.
Oh, okay.
Towards the
Mm.
towards the down pass, just towards the down pass at the right.
Yes.
No, towards the down. Just go down. Go down. No, down, down, down. Underneath. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was too small.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So for me, this is a very passionate conversation. It's one that I relate well with because some years back I used to have issues with this, my body image, my self-esteem, and I'll take us there. But basically, your body image is how you think and how you feel about the way you look, and how you think other people perceive you. Now, how you think and feel about the way you look could be 100% different from how others perceive you. However, how you think and feel about the way you look would influence how you think that other persons perceive you. So other persons might perceive you as beautiful. They might perceive you as having a good weight, appropriate weight. However, you might, because of the way you think and feel about yourself, you might think that you are maybe on the big side, or you might think that you are too slim. So basically, your body image covers your height, your shape, your weight, your skin color, your physical abilities and disabilities. Okay, so it's that picture you have of yourself, the picture you have of yourself when you look into the mirror. There are four basic aspects of body image. We have the perceptual, we have the affective, we have the cognitive, and the behavioral. Now, there's a way you see your body. I look into the mirror and I see myself. There's a picture I see. And then what I see begins to inform how I feel. And then I'm feeling a particular way. And then I begin to think of my body in that particular way. What you see begins to affect how you feel and how you think about your body. And then it begins to influence the behaviors you engage in. So let me give an example, an illustration. When I was in secondary school, I'm one of those persons who, I would say I am a late bloomer. So we have persons who at the age of 12, 13, 14, they are start getting, curvy. Girls, they start getting, curvy, their shape was coming out, your breast, everything is coming out. And for me, I was a late bloomer. And because of that, you know how in secondary school, so today my daughter asked me a question. I asked her a question. I said, what's your nickname in school? And then she told me. And then she asked me, what was your nickname in school? And I started laughing. I just gave her one side eye like that. And I'm like, why are you asking? And it was a funny question for me because my nickname in secondary school, was not one that I liked. So in secondary school, my nickname used to be Tin Tum Tum. Very funny. My nickname used to be Tin Tum Tum. So sometimes when I see some secondary school mates of mine, classmates of mine, and then they're like, Peniel, you are no longer Tin Tum Tum. I'm like, okay. And let me explain what Tin Tum Tum means. Tin Tum Tum was that I was looking very petite, small. As in, if you see my picture of me in secondary school, you would wonder if I was even in secondary school. Okay, you would wonder if I was even in secondary school, if I was still, as that when I was in the university, I had aunties. You know how maybe you go to visit your aunties or your uncles, and then they ask you, so what class are you in now? Meanwhile, I was maybe in 600 level in the university, and they're asking me, what class are you in now? Thinking that I was probably in maybe SS1, SS2. It took me a whole lot to move away from the picture that I had about myself. So what are those factors that affect your body image, that affect how you see yourself? One could be parents. I put parents as the first one because most of the images, habits, ideas, idiosyncrasies that we have formed over the years came primarily from our parents and our caregivers. Most of us got to know what was our picture of what was good and bad by what our parents or our caregivers told us or acted out as good and bad. Now, your role, if you are a parent here in the room, I'm speaking to you, and also as women, this would also help us to backtrack and know the reason why you act the way you do, or why you have the image of yourself that you presently have. So parental expectations, the language that parents use, the actions of parents. Imagine when parents have constant criticisms about your appearance. So maybe, let me give this example. So I used to, while I was growing up, I used to like to, pour down my hair. I used to have very long hair, and I would like to pour down my hair. And I remember then that, so when maybe I'm sent on an errand, I'll quickly go get a comb and comb my hair. And then my mom would say, she would scold me and be like, what is that? You're always showing off with your hair and all that. You would not believe that it got to a point I never wanted to see my hair down. I never wanted to see my hair down. So I started packing my hair. I would always pack my hair. And one time I lied to myself that the reason I like packing my hair is because I don't like anything touching my skin, touching my neck. So Nigeria is hot. I don't want anything touching my neck. But it took me a lot of soul deep digging to find out that that really was not the reason. It was because these were comments, criticisms from my mom, and she would always feel that I was doing it so that I could, go out and go and show up as a young girl, let people see my long hair. And those were the things she would say. And it began to get into my head. So to prove to myself that that was not what I was doing, I started packing my hair. So sometimes when there are constant criticisms by our parents about our appearance, about our weight, or maybe there are strict rules surrounding food and all, these things have an effect on our body image. Now, these comments are not just comments that the parents make about the child, or your parents made about you. There are also comments that we as parents make about our own bodies. So I have 2 children, and they see me every day the way I talk about my body. They see me every day the way I carry myself. One of the things my kids will tell you is, I am always talking about, girl, you're fine. And sometimes I'll be like, no, it's not vanity. It's not. It's because I've had to deal with a period of my life where I felt like, no, this is not how a lady should look, or this is not how it should look. So that's one. Parents, it's very, very important. It's a very important factor. We also have our peers. So it's said that our group of friends, or the friend groups, tend to have similar body image concerns. So we talk about the same things. We talk about we have the same values, usually have the same values. We talk about the same things, regular discussions about dieting, weight, and all that. So the kind of conversations you have with your friends would also affect your body image. Your past experiences would affect your body image. So I just shared with us some experiences from my school days. I also remember that there was a time where I never liked the fact that I am fair. It's funny, right? The fact that I am fair was a problem for me. If it was possible to rub charcoal on my body and I get permanently dark, I would love it. And why? It was just because I would step out and someone says Oyibo, and someone says yellow pawpaw. And for me, it was traumatizing, if I should use that word. Why would you call me yellow pawpaw? Why would you call me Oyibo? Why will you call me Lekpa? That's not my name. So years back, if you had told me to write down 3 things that I don't like about my body, I was going to write 10 things. And it's amazing that today I look at those things and I'm like, wow, how did I ever not like these things about me? I never used to like my complexion. Then I just didn't understand why people wanted to bleach to get fair. I'm thinking of how to get dark. I didn't like my complexion because when you do something wrong in school, secondary school, then you can't dodge. They will cite you. My fair complexion will make them pick me out quickly. So that was my complexion. I didn't like the fact that I was on the slim side. Oh, Dr. Agumbiade was told us a few minutes ago that it's not advisable. In fact, he didn't say it's not advisable. He said, do not use weight gaining medications. This is me saying and confessing that I used them when I was in secondary school. In fact, I used them when I was in the university. I used some of these medications. And now I look back and I'm wondering why. Because at my age today, I am 36, and a lot of people look at me and say, you don't look your age. You mean you have children and you don't look it. So now this slim stature now is like a plus for me. Meanwhile, I was bombarding my body with a lot of nonsense medications because I wanted to add. So past experiences, it doesn't even have to do with real physical or sexual abuse, but those are very strong points, the past experiences that could affect your body image. So imagine a woman who is married and your husband keeps telling you, see your tummy. See this was not how I married you. See how your tummy is bulging out. Oh, since you started breastfeeding, or since you gave birth to our 2 children or our 3 children, or even just one child, your breasts are no longer standing as they used to be. Okay, so that's something that would affect your body image negatively. Being teased, being bullied, being harassed because of even your physical inabilities. So maybe you have a disability, a physical disability, and people harass you or tease you or bully you because of these things. So these are things that affect our body image negatively. Oh, I will not forget culture and media. So the media, until very recently, the media used to tell us that a beautiful lady is that fair, tall, slim lady who can walk on 6 inches high heel shoes. In fact, who can run on 6 inches high heel shoes. And that is the picture of the ideal woman. Permit me to bust your bubble. Most of those pictures are airbrushed. Most of those videos have been edited. We are women, we know what makeup does for us. My face with makeup and my face without makeup would differ. Then again, my face with makeup, when I take a picture, I can still further edit it to look like it's smooth. But let's be truthful to ourselves. The human face has texture. So I'm sorry if you don't like the way my skin feels or how my skin looks, but it's not for culture or media to determine the perfect size, shape, gender, age, skin color of anybody. Now, like we said, the topic is body image and self-esteem. What's the link? What's the link between the two? Self-esteem basically is how you value and respect yourself as a person. This affects how you take care of yourself emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It is how you value and respect yourself, how you carry your years back, if you had told me that I would be into public speaking today, I would tell you it's a lie. Even though I used to, so secondary school, I used to do a lot of dodging. I didn't want to be in the forefront of anything. It affected my academics. Then I got into the university, had, fellowship, church in school, leadership came upon me. So I had to start doing some bit of public speaking. That was when I began to break out of the box I had put myself in, because I felt I didn't meet the standard, the fiscal standard of someone who should be in the public light. So it affected the way I saw myself, the way I carried myself, the way I valued myself. So your body image, if it's positive, you would almost surely have a high self-esteem. If it's negative, you would almost surely have a low self-esteem. So when you have healthy body image, you feel comfortable about your body and how you can take care of it. So let's look at these questions. These questions are to help us gauge how positive or negative our body image is. So I ask you, do your feelings about your body interfere with your relationships, your work, or your activities? Now, we'll take a pause in a couple of minutes, and I would like some of us to answer. You would unmute and answer the first set of questions I asked. Tell us things you like about yourself, and please feel free to tell us things you do not like about yourself. I've shared with us. So I would like that this is a bit interactive, and we can learn from each other. So the question, like I said, do your feelings about your body interfere with your relationships, your work, your activities? Do you take extreme measures to avoid seeing your body? So you don't like to look into a mirror, you don't like to see yourself naked, you don't take time to look at your body even in the bathroom. Do you compulsively check and recheck your body? Now, there are two things. Some persons, there are two extremes. Some persons completely avoid looking at their body, while the other person is compulsively checking and rechecking her body. Oh, I want to check my weight. Oh, I checked my weight 2 days ago. I want to be sure that I've added. I want to know whether I've lost weight. And then you are measuring your body parts. You take your tape rule and then you put it on your waist, or use your waist bead. And then you are trying to check, is the waist bead now tight? I want to be sure that I'm not adding weight. You are pinching your skin and saying, it's like I'm getting old. My skin is no longer as elastic. It's funny. I remember one day I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, babe, you're not getting any younger. Age is beginning to catch up with you. And why did I say that? I could see I had eye bags. Of course, there was the part of, okay, work was stressful. I wasn't sleeping well. I had issues I was dealing with. But then again, I realized that I was no longer as active as I used to be so many years back. But that was me just being self-aware about my body and not compulsively checking and rechecking. So some people want to check, they keep doing this. Yeah, you keep examining yourself over and over again in the mirror. So it's two extremes. Some people avoid looking at their bodies. Others are so obsessed about checking their weights, their body parts. You want to measure your boobs, you want to measure your waist, measure your hips, and the rest. Now, do you feel the need to apply a heavy layer of makeup when you go out in public? Do you feel the need to apply a heavy layer of makeup when you go out in public? Do you use hats, scarves, or sunglasses to cover your face, or baggy clothing to hide your body? So I know that, yes, there are times where maybe you've done a lot of, maybe you didn't have a good night's rest, you've been busy, the week has been busy, so you have some eye bags, and you just don't want so many people to ask you questions, and so you put on your glasses when you're going out. That's different. However, do you find yourself in a position where whenever you have to step out, the first thing you think of, even when the sun is not out, is I need to put on the sunglasses, I need to take a scarf, because you want to cover your face? And this is not covering your face from sun or from UV rays, UVA, UVB, and the rest. No. Okay. Have you had excessive plastic surgery? Have you had excessive plastic surgery? Do you intentionally damage your skin? So these are two different questions. Now, note that I didn't ask, have you had plastic surgery? I said, have you had excessive plastic surgery? Do you intentionally damage your skin? Do you experience powerful negative emotions when you think about your body? Now, like I highlighted here in red, if you answered yes or no to more of this, one or more of these questions, you may want to consider talking with a counselor about the way you view your body. This is because these questions are a pointer to a negative body image. They're a pointer to a negative body image. I'd like to take a pause here and ask, does anybody want to share with us the things you wrote down on what you like about yourself and what you don't like about yourself? So if you want to talk about just what you like about yourself, that's fine. If you want to talk about what you don't like about yourself, that's fine. If you want to talk about both, please go ahead. Anyone?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Bumi.
I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. And let me first of all talk about what I like about myself. I like the way I speak, and I like my stature. I'm also lepa, and I am loving it now. I'm not too big, so now I love my relationship with God. That I know God. Then let me talk about the things I don't like about myself. I don't like my dentition. And my husband do stress that. It will be like, why can't you go and do this? Just leave me. One thing I have noticed is that I don't allow such thing to get to me. And let me say, I don't really allow it to affect me, but it do affect because I do sing. I love to sing. At times, I'll be mindful of the way I sing because I have the notion that my dentition is not too good. Do you understand? It's not maybe that bad. You know, how do I even describe it? You know, some of us have a teeth that is a bit bulge out, but some are not too noticeable. At least I still have my lips covering my, I have my lips covering my teeth. It's not maybe it's that pronounced. Do you get? But if you have somebody always reminding you, telling you about that, at times you be like, so I think then the other thing I don't really like, but I think I don't like about myself is that when I was younger, I do have pimple, so I don't have too smooth face. And I don't like it. When I see people with very smooth face, I be like, why can't my face be like this? You understand? So I think those are the two things I don't really like about myself. And I've talked about the things I like about myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow. So I like the fact that you started with the things you like, and that the first thing you said was you like the way you speak. You like the way you speak. And now to think that you also said you sing. However, because of your dentition, which you do not like or you're not comfortable with, you're now careful. You're self-conscious when you have to sing. You're self-conscious when you have to sing. I like the fact that you said you like your stature. I remember one of the things I used then to hype myself was, whoever is taller than me is too tall. Whoever is shorter than me is too short. Whoever is bigger than me is too big. If you are slimmer than me, you are too slim. I'm the perfect definition of how Peniel should look. Because I found out that we do a lot of comparing ourselves with other people. And then biology has kind of taught us to see something as normal and the other as not normal. Okay. So I like the things you mentioned that you like, the way you speak, your stature, your relationship with God, and the things you do not like, your dentition. Now, notice that you said ordinarily it wouldn't bother you. But because your husband keeps making reference to it, it now makes you conscious and overly conscious of it. This is like when I said earlier that the factors that affect our self-esteem or our body image rather are things like what our parents say about themselves. So in this picture, we could put what our spouses say. And I understand that he's just saying it might just be something he just wants to tease you about. He might not be seriously saying it, but it's affecting you. I would want to say, Bumi, maybe you might want to have a sincere conversation with hubby and tell him how you feel, how it makes you feel. Yes, you might decide later that you want to go maybe visit the dentist, have your teeth aligned, because even people who have teeth that we think are well arranged, they still go and do that thing. They put braces and all to help align their teeth. However, you would not feel the satisfaction, even if you go in for that and you go through the stress of the period of time you have to stay with the braces on. You will not feel the satisfaction if the reason you went in for it was just to get your husband to stop talking about it. You would not feel the satisfaction. You will not feel the happiness that you should feel, the excitement that you should feel when you look into the mirror. Why? Because the reason you are doing it is where there's an issue. It's like someone who is on the big side, and then the person goes to the gym. You will be surprised that the reason behind why you want to lose weight would influence how fast you lose weight. It would influence how fast you lose weight. Oh, and then to that pimples thing, please, people that have smooth face, people should tell us how you got your smooth face. People that have it, people should tell us. I heard for some people it's hereditary. Even for those of us that didn't have pimples while growing up like that, we still don't have smooth face. Or you see some persons who don't have, I have uneven skin tone. Some of us have it. While there are some persons that without makeup, their skin is amazing. So we are all different. We are all different. Does any other person want to talk about what he or she likes or what they don't like? I'll just take one more person. So you could talk about anyone, what I like, what I don't like. And I think I want to even see, Bumi, why do I have a feeling that this your dentition you are talking about is not how you are seeing it? Oh. But then again, that is the thing with body image. All right, so does any other person want to go? No? So I'll be going to the next slide. If anybody wants to speak, please feel free to raise your hand and then we'll look at that. Okay, so how do I know if I have a healthy image and self-esteem? The reason this topic is important is because I have seen people, and some of us might know people who have a very unhealthy body image, a very bad body image. They don't like the way they look. They don't like. I just remembered now that I didn't used to like my ears. So maybe, oh, this is my hair now. This my ears. I didn't used to like my ears, and I'll explain why. When I was younger. Now in secondary school, my secondary school, we are on low cuts. And you know how when you're on low cuts, you are now small, you are pinchomic, like I used to say that time, I'm pinchomic, you're very slim. And then with your low cuts, my ears used to stand out like this. Now they are not standing out like that. My ears used to stand out like this. So if you're Yoruba here, you would understand what I mean when I say this word. So in secondary school, another name that they used to call those of us, because we were more than one. So I just remember some of my classmates there. They used to call us Etiewe. Wow. They used to call us Etiewe. So I think Etiewe means ear of leaf, an ear that is like a leaf. So breeze blows, your ear is flapping. And those words, while our classmates will say these things and laugh, in fact, we would even say these things and yab some of our other classmates, but they were things that began to form our image about ourselves. Okay. Now, how do I know if I have a healthy body image and self-esteem? When you look into the mirror, do you see yourself as a whole person or as a collection of specific body parts? Do you see yourself as my nose or my ears, or you see yourself as a whole person? So when you see yourself in the mirror or in your mind as a whole person, not as a collection of specific body parts, you have a good sense or a good level of healthy body image. When you accept and celebrate the uniqueness of your natural body shape and size, accept and celebrate the uniqueness of your natural body shape and size. Oh, we are women. We go through the rigors of childbirth. Trust me, sweetheart, your body would never remain the same after childbirth. Yes, your tummy might get flat, but you would know that something has happened to your body. You would know. Yes, there are women who say, okay, I don't want to breastfeed, but even your boobs will not remain the same size. It would not remain the same shape. I'm trying to be as explicit as I can be because we are women, and this is a topic that affects virtually every one of us. However, we dodge from discussing it because you feel it's vanity or you don't want people to know that you're talking about. No. Tell me a woman that does not want to feel comfortable in her body. Celebrate the things that your body does. Celebrate the uniqueness of your natural body shape and your natural body size. I have a friend in my office, and she's on the plump side. And then there's this thing she says. She'll tell you, whenever I see her in the morning, I like to hug her. And even before you stretch your hand to hug her, she will come and be like, she wants to hug you. And then she will tell you, people tell me that I am an amazing hugger. I can tell you that